right, Sagittarius. So very interesting. Your current desires, expectations, fears. We have the Queen of Wands in the upright. Very beautiful card. Matches the background. So as you can see, this is a very strong feminine, royal energy holding her large cup full of positive emotions, kind of the epitome of femininity and beauty and elegance. So right off the surface, we always have to look at signs. Some of you might be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But this could also be just your own energy. I do feel that obviously you're in touch with your emotions this month. You're obviously feeling quite emotional, but it's in a positive way. This is about you following your heart, Sagittarius. But I also feel like as water is fluid, you're going with the fluidity, you're going with the flow in your love life. And I also feel that you're also being very caring and supportive of your lover, of your loved one. You might be tender towards them. And I feel this month you're more in touch with your heart and your emotions, which is awesome. You're trying to be more sensitive to your lover and showing and demonstrating to them, you know, probably in a multitude of ways, some of them romantic, that you care. I also feel that you're really trying to work on listening more and trying to be sympathetic possibly to, you know, your own or their situation. And if you're not in a relationship yet, Sagittarius, you're really trying to open your heart to love. Maybe you're kind of in the more romantic mood. You're like watching romantic movies or, you know, going to a nice restaurant and just feeling more of the romance in the air. Some of you might be, you know, dating or in a relationship, and the reason for the strong cup energy is that you guys are talking a lot, you're expressing your feelings, but I also feel that you're still thinking very deeply about your relationship. And what's beautiful about this card, Sagittarius, is that you're looking at the inner beauty of a person. You know, someone could be the most quote unquote attractive person in the world on the outside, but if they're not beautiful inside to you, you're not going to be as excited about it. Some of you might be in a relationship and you're just realizing that, you know, this month you're going to have to be more sensitive with your lover. But I do feel that you're really trying to keep the peace and you're trusting your intuition and you're really trying to create harmony in your relationships in your life. This is just a great energy. Some of you, if you're single, you might be meditating and just dreaming about what your perfect lover would be like. You're using your imagination, like what would the perfect relationship look like to you? And, you know, this is a great month to kind of be more creative and just be yourself, do your own thing. If you are in a relationship, this is a good time because this is just a strong water energy, very blue, very emotional, but in a positive way. It's a great time to go to the ocean or go to the lake or the river, get out in nature. So as always, you're still increasing your knowledge and your intuition and your psychic abilities, but I feel that your heart is really in tune this month with your lover or just with love in general. The other thing that this highlights, maybe your expectations, Sagittarius, is that you really want someone that's loyal, that's loving, and devoted, and you want a relationship that is harmonious. And you're this month you're really kind of over conflicts and arguments, and you're trying to approach things in a gentler manner. And it's about romance and, you know, loving somebody unconditionally. This is someone that also tends to marry for life, so I do feel that you're taking your commitments pretty seriously. And whether you're male or female, you're definitely more in touch with, like I said, your heart, your intuitive, your psychic abilities in regards to love this month. Okay, so as far as the challenge or the obstacle, we have the Five of Swords, however it is in the reverse. So I always like to take things at surface value. You might be dealing with a air sign for some of you, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. The Five of Swords in the reverse, if this is the obstacle and the challenge, it's all about communication and it's all about compromise. This is also, you know, the end of problems or conflicts or hostilities or even stress. I feel like you are definitely, if you're in a relationship, you have maybe had some issues kind of, you know, communicating in the past. So that's going to continue to move into this month as well. This is all about, you know, talking with others and, you know, trying to negotiate, trying to move on if there has been a struggle or a challenge. It's kind of like, you know, I'm ready to bury the hatchet. You know, maybe we've been, you know, kind of at, you know, there's been a little fire going on and it's almost felt like a war zone for some of you. So you're ready to end that. And that's also the challenge this month. So there's like, this is going to be a challenge, Sagittarius, because it can go two ways. You're either going to succumb to this major challenge or you're going to overcome it. You might be dealing with someone, Sagittarius, that I mean, whenever you have a sword and it's in reverse, it can literally be someone that has a mental issue or like a personality disorder. So you might be dealing with kind of a person, I don't want to say that's crazy, but, you know, just takes a lot of skill to handle and to work with. The negative side of this card is someone that's like a relationship that's more like dominating and abusive, and it's like about getting revenge. And so it's more of like a war energy. So that's going to be the challenge, is not to give in to that if you have been kind of battling it out. For some of you, this is about kind of like you have been in a battle. And I remember that last month as well. So this does feel that there's an opportunity here to bury the hatchet and to kind of cease fire. And you're going to kind of reopen the lines of communication. And I feel that both of you will start learning how to communicate your problems and issues, but this time it's going to be in a calm and controlled manner. So that's why I feel like you're more open to that this month as well. And professional help, if necessary, counselors or mediators might have to be called in. But, you know, if it is that volatile, it's going to be worth it because you don't want it to blow up at any moment. And if it's, you know, if it's someone you really love, then it's going to be worth fighting for. And then obviously, you know, we have free will. So this can go either ways, because the other way this could go is that this could be about like the couple not really even trying to fix the problem, or maybe one of you is and the other one is not. But this could show an abusive relationship, and one of the partners could be more dangerous and, you know, with their words and even physically. So there could be psychological abuse, and you don't want that. So it could go the other direction where, you know, fear, intimidation, threatening each other, where it's, like I said, a very strong, dominant, submissive relationship. It can really bring about extreme energies one way or the other. So you really have an opportunity here to kind of be this Queen of Cups and be that soft, sensitive, understanding, sympathetic energy to your partner. So, like I said, it's either going to be more opportunities for resolution and peace talks and understanding. And if that is not embraced, then it could go the other way, where it's like an escalation in egos and arguments and battles and you know, an all-out war. So you really have, you can kind of go either way this month, Sagittarius. So even if your partner is acting like that, your best bet is to remain calm, cool, collected, sympathetic, understanding, loving, you know, empathetic, because as the outcome, as we can see, we have the Judgment card. So this is powerful. This is like the universe stepping in and calling you, your lover, the relationship, your past relationships into account, and saying, you know, calling to account for past actions or attitudes that have happened in life or a particular situation. So it's about looking at taking a review of your actions, your lover's actions. You know, it's about karma, really. And we all know that we can attract both good and bad karma, and maybe everyone does a little bit of each. But, you know, this is about you really stepping back and looking at, in this relationship, where is your karma lie? Where, you know, on what side of the scales is the energy? This is also about, if there has been a mistake on your side or your lover's side, it's like a time to atone for anything that has been unfair or unjust, any upsets caused to yourself or to others. So it's obviously about the personal desire to right a wrong, to forgive or ask forgiveness of others. And so what I feel like you're going through, Sagittarius, is because you are a very spiritual sign. This relationship or the people you've been dating or even just your own personal journey, what this is all about is this is awakening you to your true spiritual calling and to your own awareness. And you're getting more in touch with the spiritual side of life through this relationship. And then you're seeing the physical is only the reflection of the spiritual. So I do feel that whatever relationship you've been in, which has definitely been intense for some of you, and this could just be your own path and things that you're observing and realizing and seeing, you're finding your way to your true self and to your true life purpose. So I do feel there's a higher purpose to your relationship. I do feel that there's a spiritual calling that's happening in your life. And you're gaining that knowledge so that you can teach others. And at the end of the day, you're going to realize, possessions, power, status really doesn't mean anything. And that only grace, love, faith, hope, forgiveness, all those spiritual qualities are what is important. So I do feel that as the month closes for you, Sagittarius, you're going to gain more clarity, and you're also going to make more positive decisions in regards to your love life. You're going to be able to clearly see yourself and also see others and how they see you. So this is a month for self-judgment, and you're going to be able to really kind of see where things are at. And nobody's perfect, obviously, but you're really coming to this realization of how the past has created your present, and you're going to come to a powerful understanding if you are in the right place with the right person and where you want to go from here.